Well, Brian, it's slowly killing me.
I hope it's ordered slowly.
God. Oh, man. I know I look fresh, but I'm not actually feeling very fresh.
I think we're too old for that shift.
Oh, God. Yes. Yeah, I caught a last minute uh call this morning, so I got way less sleep than I normally do. But it's Friday,
Oh,
so hang on. Can you see this? Uh-oh. I've
yeah,
got
but
the
I can't
French
tell
press.
what's the first piece. I couldn't tell what it was.
Are you
You put your
serious?
hand on it.
It's that
Yeah, it's
bad?
that. It's that bad.
Well, you know what's weird is that I can see you just fine.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It is weird.
You,
It
you
was fine
notice?
there for a little while, and then all of a sudden, it just. I think once you start recording, it went
Oh
haywire.
yeah. So I made sure to do the old check before I poured it in my coffee cup. That means I have kids that do dishes.
Yeah, and
You
then
can't.
I always do.
Usually I smell it first too.
I always rinse mine out first.
It may look clean, but then will it pass the smell test?
Hey, look what I've got. Focus, Sony. Sony's not going to focus. There it goes.
Whoa! It just locked in. Is that my scan disk thumb drive?
That's your thumb drive.
Well, speaking of shit that I can't find that you probably have,
Yeah.
um,
Uh-huh. What
do,
else you been looking for?
do you remember that little connector that plugs into
Yeah,
the hard drive
yeah,
for the Ninja?
we talked about that. I've got that. Well, we already talked about that.
I didn't know that's what you meant. I thought you meant
Yeah, that's
something else.
no, that's what I meant. I've got it. Yeah.
How loud is that? I'm eating a waffle.
I was about to ask 'cause I can't tell what it is. It's just I could tell it's round and has a bite taken out of it. Oh, dude, hey, you gotta check this app out. By the way, this is really cool. It's called Yuka,
All right. What does it do?
Uyka. It's a free app. You basically scan the barcode on foods, and it tells you, like, it rates it on a scale, like a scale of 0 to 100, and it tells you, like, if it gives it a poor rating or a bad rating or whatever, it'll tell you, like, why, like it's got two ingredients that are hazardous or whatever.
Are you serious?
It's changed the way I grocery shop. Yeah, it's incredible. It's for food, and it's for, like, I guess you consider beauty products, so like lotions and shampoos and all that kind of shit. Yeah,
I'm
it
not
doesn't do
scanning my
supplements or anything.
lotion.
Right? Well, dude, I did that, and I was like, okay, I'm buying new lotion. I went up and found a good one. I'm not kidding.
Great.
I was using, like, I thought it was a good one. It was kind of an expensive one. And then when it got a shitty rating, I was like, okay,
Dude,
yeah, man,
groceries are
deodorant,
expensive
all that
enough.
shit. I know. Well, it's not necessarily like more expensive stuff. But for example, here's a great example, right? I would have thought, because once I got the app, I started going around my house, like, scanning shit in the pantry. So I was like, I want to see what this is, and some things, like, surprised me in a good way. But one thing I didn't expect. So I had a can of tuna. It was Starkist, I guess, is the brand. It's a brand, right?
Yeah, Starkist.
Yeah, Starkist. It was Starkist, like solid chunk or solid white tuna or something like that, right? I thought that's got to be good, right? I scanned it. Nope. It got like a poor. I forget what the rating was. It was poor. It was low, and it was because it has some fucking additive in it they put in it, and it's like some chemical additive.
Dolphins.
No, it's for real. But here's the great thing, right? It, like, you scroll down and read all the shit on it, and then below that it'll give you, like, recommendations for better ones. So you don't have to be like, well, fuck, what's a good one? You know what I mean? So, like, I went and found, I forget what brand it was. As first time I bought it, it was a little bit more. I think it was like $4 a can. But I don't even remember what the other stuff was.
$4 a can.
Yeah, but it's 100% just tuna. It's no bullshit, no added bullshit. I'm like, dude, that's crazy.
That
Like I said,
sounds
man, you're gonna
amazing.
start. You need to download it. It's. I swear to you, it's a life-changing app, dude.
Well,
You'll
but
stop eating certain things and finding alternatives, and it's good.
I'll stop lotioning with certain things.
Exactly. You got it.
No, that sounds amazing, except it sounds like a really fucked up rabbit hole to go down. I mean, I'm on board because they put all kinds of horrific stuff in our food and products,
Exactly.
but
And a lot of it's like not a surprise. A lot of it's stuff you scan, you totally expected to get shitty ratings too. Like for example, dude, what was I scanned? Like Doritos, a bag of Doritos got a score
flaming
of
Cheetos,
0. I mean, like shit.
not even food.
I wanted to find something that I was hoping to find something with a low. I didn't realize 0 would be a rating. I thought 1 would be the lowest, but 0 I found, and I found 100, but that was on a bottle of like Deer Park water. So that's the only thing I
That's
found that was
kind of
100.
that's kind of cheating, though.
But it is cheating. But I haven't found any foods or anything else that's been 100. But I found some stuff that's been in the 90s and stuff like that. Like some stuff that I was pleased to see, like the Costco tortilla chips got a really high score.
Oh,
I really love those. Like the Costco booches actually got a lower score than I would have thought.
I wonder what my stanky booch would get.
Well, here's the thing, because I was like, what? I think it got like a 49, which isn't great by any means. But here's the thing: it takes a lot of things into consideration, not just hazardous chemicals and shit that they're putting in your food, but also sugars and stuff. And those booches have 18 grams of sugar a piece. So that's why that one got that kind of a rating that it did.
No, that makes sense.
But
But yeah, and that, like, a lot of that's not even in there because it gets fermented. But I think they have to tell you like the
yeah,
total amount that was used to make it. I think.
yeah. My thing is, I just want to make sure I'm not eating fucking dangerous shit. I'm not necessarily, like I said, that's not going to stop me from drinking that because if anything, it's just the sugar. It's not. I just want to stay away from harmful chemicals and shit. These fucking additives that they keep putting in there.
No, it's true. I mean, man, I don't know. Forget which show I was listening to, but apparently, like right now, like in Europe and Canada, where they don't let the companies poison their people, there's about 300 or 400 like legal additives and stuff. And we used to have about that number in the 80s, and then now we have over 10,000.
Yeah.
Is what he was saying. I was like, oh,
I'm hoping
lovely.
Bobby Kennedy will change that, dude. Fingers
Well,
crossed.
yeah, that's going to be his task. If
Yeah,
yeah,
if he gets the position, so I think he will. I think if he gets the position, I think he'll absolutely make major changes to our health industry in general. I think it'll be great, man, because we need to get
yeah,
this shit out of our food. And it was what else it was awesome. It was an eye opening experience for my kids because I had them doing it and look at the same thing. I'm like, look at this. I'm like, look at your Honey Nut Cheerios up here that I've told you guys are really fucking bad. They got like a score of like an 8 or something. It's horrible.
Hey, what did you do? Have you checked Cheez-Its?
I don't. I haven't, and no. I have a box in the thing. I can check. I'll check them at some point because I've got a box of them downstairs, but I never did scan them. But it's funny, man. I was at Costco today, just like looking for snacks for me for work. Like, nope. Scan it. Like, nope, nope. Like, I don't want to say I was surprised, but like a lot of the things I thought might be okay, like everything in the jerky aisle. Obviously the meat stick ones they're processed, but even just like the strips of jerky and stuff too, all got bad ratings. I was like, all right, well, I won't be eating
Really?
that shit anymore. Yeah,
Oh
and I wasn't
man.
looking at specific because I was just blowing through stuff trying to find stuff, um, you know, stuff that I could buy that wouldn't fucking kill me. You check it out, Yuka, Yuka.
I'm getting so distracted just staring at you. I like what you got going. Like there's no background.
Well, I normally would have something back there. I just ran out of time because the fucking camera, man, not working, screwed me over. So I was trying. You know how these damn cameras are, man. So I had it set up right because I used to use, or I do use this one for doing my YouTube videos. So I haven't changed any settings or anything. So I'm like, well, let me do it. Get my setup here already. And so I plugged the camera, the mic in, make sure everything was working, and the camera was working fine. And then I was trying to adjust it where it was, and like it froze. I was like, God damn it! And then so like I turned it off, back on, and then I could get that thing on the screen on the back where it says what did it say? Something about USB, finding USB or some bullshit. I can't remember. It's like a little spinning circle thing.
Oh yeah, like connecting
And it
or
wouldn't do
something.
it. Yeah, it wouldn't do anything. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right. So I turned it off, took the battery out, put it back in. That didn't work. I restarted the computer. That didn't work. I'm like, what the motherfucking ass? I'm like, maybe it's the software for some reason. I checked the software. There was an update for the Sony Edge or Imaging Edge shit. I updated that. That didn't do anything. I was like, what in the ass, man? And so I actually opened the Imaging Edge app we used to use for the photos for the houses. And I was
Yeah,
able to like launch it through that, and then it started it up. I was like, okay, cool. And then I went to like OSB, and it was working in OSB, and I tried shutting down Imaging Edge, and it was fine. And then I shut down OSB and came into this program preemptively, and it was working fine. So it was just
that's crazy.
nothing. Yeah, it was just nothing. It was stupid. Just
Well,
Sony
it's
being
yeah.
Sony.
Well, the weird thing is their cameras, I feel like really work flawlessly, but man, their apps and
Yeah.
software are terrible. But I mean, that company has. It's not like they're a startup, working out of their basement or something.
There's no
It's like
excuse, man.
exactly
They're
they
one of the
have
biggest
tons of
electronic
money.
companies on the planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been around forever. There's no excuse for that shit. And I
How
wonder
is
if the newer cameras work better.
oh man, I would love to get one
They
of
may
the.
not.
Probably not.
Probably.
I'd still love to get one of
Heck,
the FX3s.
yeah. I wonder what I'll eventually upgrade to.
Well,
Or I shouldn't even say upgrade, but eventually replace with.
yeah. Are you staying in the Sony ecosystem?
Yeah, I'm not switching, dude. I can't. I don't want to rebuy lenses unless somebody fucking gives me a camera. I'm not, you know, I'm not fucking switching.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
if
what is that
Canon
old
or somebody
saying?
what's that?
You said if Canon hits you up and sent you a
Yeah,
bunch of free
Canon hit me up
stuff.
and wanted to send me some shit. I would gladly switch to somebody like Canon, but I'm not fucking starting over with lenses and stuff. It's just too expensive.
Yeah. What is it? Marry your lenses, but date your body. Or what was that old saying? I don't know. It was
You
something like
got
that.
me.
How is the
The
YouTubes
first
going?
for me.
You've never heard that? Well, no. It's just like the idea is that like the lenses for your camera are so much more expensive than the actual camera
No,
body,
that
and
yeah,
so
no, for
yeah,
sure. You invest way more into that. No,
yeah,
but shit, dude, I haven't really done a YouTube in a minute. Really, since the new job, because once I got like, that's really what stopped was when I got the call from HR. Because then there was like a bunch of shit I had to do, paperwork and physical, and there's some online training
you had to
bullshit,
do a
and
physical.
then yeah, you have to do a DOT physical, and then which was nothing. It was super simple. It was way easier than the APD one. Because that
Really?
APD one, man, they like hooked me up to an EKG machine and shit. They didn't do any of that. It was like it was really mainly like they took my blood pressure. I think they listened to my heart, and then they were like, do this, squat like this, do this, walk on your tiptoes, like that kind of dumb shit. And it was like,
Oh
okay, you're good to
yeah,
go. It was really, really simple. But yeah, and then I was having to study to memorize that stupid bullshit you got to memorize, and I was in class and training for a week, and then I pretty much start driving. So yeah, I haven't. I just there's no way to I haven't had the time because I mean honestly, the filming of I would sit down and film several videos at once. That may only take an hour or so of my time, but it was the fucking edits, man. I was spending 4 or 5 edits editing one of those fucking videos. So
No
right now,
kidding.
there's just no way. I don't have the time, dude. Yeah, I mean, because those videos were usually 15 or so minutes long.
Yeah, editing can get
No.
crazy, like crazy intense.
Yeah.
I'm editing uh, a real estate video for April right now, and there was a problem. Those take a little while. It was a nice house, and so you want to make sure everything's perfect. But then I was using the wireless mics, and I've never had this happen, but there was like a problem with the transmission between like the body pack microphone and the receiver on my camera, and so a lot of the audio was kind of like staticky, and so I had to go through and like take the audio off the actual, because it records locally too on the little thing, but you have to go through and find it, and because when you turn them on, they start recording, and so there was like an hour of footage, and I had to go find all the, she probably had 8 or 9 different lines throughout the video, and I had to go find each one. And then for some reason it wouldn't sync. Once I found it, I would put it on the timeline and highlight the original clip. And
I
then
remember you saying
one,
that.
yeah, I mean, it normally does. I don't know what the problem was, but this time, and so I had to like manually sync them based off the waveform.
Yeah.
So it can add. I mean, that could easily add 2 or 3 hours before you even realize it.
Yeah, it does. It adds up, man. It's a pain. And I was doing, I mean, I had like the interview portions, and then I had a lot of other little things I was putting in here and there. And then I was adding music and sound effects, and it was a lot.
Have you thought of, is there a way you could go super low tech on it? More almost like a vlogging style, where you're still talking about what you like, what you're passionate about, but with less production value. And that way,
I don't know. I've not really thought about that, and I don't really know what you mean, to be honest. I'm not really sure how I would do that. I mean, I would love to do that. That would be amazing. Not sure
you're
what
not
you
making any
mean.
sense right now, but that sounds great, Rusty. Thanks.
I love the idea in theory.
Hey, what? So, okay, I'm having I'm having like a really cool experience in my life right now, and I feel like you've probably had this, and I wanted to ask you about it.
Okay, hold on, pause. Do you have a goatee or something?
Huh?
I can't tell what's going on with the facial hair. Is it a goatee or is it a full beard? I can't see.
Okay, so no, I don't. Okay, I just noticed this, but weirdly, I don't even know why my beard is going all gray except for like the goatee part, and it
Okay.
looks like I took the time to fucking carefully dye it and or something to make it look. I'll move out of the way of the microphone, but no, I'm just like, I don't do anything like that at all. I just trim it.
I mean, it actually looks like a giant handlebar mustache. That's what it looks like from here.
That would be amazing.
That's what you should rock, dude.
That would be amazing.
When you make Sergeant, you need to do that.
There was this show on Peacock. Oh man, what was it? It was the lead character was a nun, and it was all about this AI that was trying to like find her, and then she was trying to destroy the AI. Man, what was that called? But her like boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend on the show had like the coolest. It was like a beard, but then he trimmed down. He had a beard probably about as long as mine, but then the mustache was really long and the sideburns were long. So it was almost like a handlebar mustache with long sideburns that were like very long. But then the rest of his beard was kind of shorter. And it looked so cool. And I was like, oh man, I wish I could do that. It wouldn't look the same on me, but it was a cool look.
I think you should try it.
oh, man, what was that show? It was a really good show, but no, what pushed you over the edge, man? Like to start, you started your Instagram and all that, like what, 2 years ago? Has it been longer? One
Yeah, it's been
year?
5.5 years ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dead serious.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was sometime in 2019. Um, yeah, it was 2019. Right?
Damn, really?
Yeah. Oh, maybe it may have been actually late 2018. Now that I think about it, I can't remember. I have to go back and look at my first post.
Was it always the action figures?
Yeah, pretty much. I started that account just because I didn't know what the account was, and then I ended up changing it. But I hadn't had it but like maybe a month or so before I changed it. I can't remember what the hell it was called the first because I changed the name too originally. But like I said, I was just curious I didn't even know really what Instagram was. I just knew it was a big platform, and it was one of those ones I didn't know anything about. So I was like, well, let me start one, see what the hell it's all about. And that was back when it was really more pictures before they really started pushing video and stuff. All because
Yeah,
TikTok, trying to compete with TikTok.
man, TikTok just came through and changed everything.
Yeah, they did.
Fucking vertical video. That is so,
Fucking hell,
that
man.
is
It's
so
just a pain.
annoying.
I don't like it, but I mean, I shoot everything in vertical pretty much. Well, actually, I don't shoot everything in vertical. I still shoot horizontal, but you got to take that into consideration and then shoot it far enough away that you can, you know, edit it in vertical, so that you
Yeah.
don't have to lose all your footage. You know what I mean? Frame it right, I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Some monitors like the Ninja has like buttons you can push on there that will show you like an outline of whatever aspect ratio you want. And I
Well,
think
so
I think you can do vertical.
I watched a cool video with a guy basically just saying, you got your, rule of thirds bars on your camera. He's like, basically keep, when you're filming, normal in a vertical, in a horizontal, make sure you keep what you want for that vertical in between those, that middle third, everything in that middle third. And,
Yeah.
that's how you can know where you need to be positioned with the camera, how close or far back or whatever.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because I tell you
More
what, dude, it's almost impossible to shoot vertically with the. It's not impossible. It's a pain in the ass to shoot vertically and use the motorized slider, because I have to take my camera out of the cage, otherwise it won't lean 90 degrees. The cage will stop. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass.
I would imagine it would be a pain, but you could probably get the camera like on its side to shoot like true vertical on the
Mm.
gimbal, but it would be really hard to get that thing to balance, I would think.
Trying
I've
to think,
never.
could you even mount it that way?
I mean, it would if as long as it's in the cage, you could.
Oh yeah, in the cage, that makes sense. Yeah,
But like I
yeah,
say, it would. It
yeah.
would. I don't know. I've never tried. I don't. I mean, that would be the best way to shoot it, because then everything of course it's going to be sideways. So that's going to be a pain in the ass. Well, no, that wouldn't matter. I don't
It
think
would
that
be. It
this.
would be right.
Yeah,
No, it
the
would be
screen
right.
doesn't flip. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck! I just muted myself and then I coughed again. Yeah, the screen would be right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder, man. I guess you could do that. It would. I mean, I don't know. Would it be a pain to balance, or would it just? I wouldn't think so. I think you just have to balance it.
I mean, it might work. I don't know. Like, I mean, the idea. I mean, people do it and they make it look okay, but the idea of shooting vertical video for real estate, it's just like
That
you're just
makes no
getting all
sense.
floors and ceilings. Like, what are we doing,
Yeah,
guys?
it makes no sense. Yeah,
And I get it because supposedly the algorithm treats you more favorably if it's in vertical.
yeah.
But I've heard now that TikTok is like trying to expand into landscape video now. Like, oh, we should all shoot landscape now.
Good. Maybe they'll start that trend back to normal.
I hope so.
I mean, because think about it. There's no reason why you couldn't scroll through your phone with it being turned horizontally,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
That
not
would be
only are
better.
they stealing all of our information and doing God knows what else, they also like completely, convinced everyone that vertical video is the way to go. That's what I'm really sore about.
Well, honestly, it is all just because of phones, because think about how many people that are filming on those platforms are using their phones. Most people aren't using cameras.
Yeah. No, that is
So
true.
I think that's what happened. I think it's not really TikTok's fault more than it is just the cell phone.
It's TikTok's fault.
A little
Did
bit
you
of
hear
both.
that did you hear that if they do sell, because the government is trying to force them to sell to a non-Chinese owned company,
Hmm.
they've said that the algorithm is not going to be included.
Yeah, I have heard that too because they've got a proprietary algorithm that's apparently really good.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I think that'd
Pretty,
be funny if they sold it to somebody else and it just died. It pulled a MySpace.
oh man, wouldn't that be crazy? I think it's too big for that though, honestly. I
Yeah,
mean, you
it
never know
probably.
though. I mean, people people have no attention span these days. So if it took a hit somehow, or if I mean, because the reason it's so addictive is because of the algorithm. It studies
Right. I'm saying, what if it
everything
sucked?
about you. Yeah, your pupil dilation, like everything. It's just watching you like a creepy damn robot.
Crazy, dude. And have you seen these Tesla robots?
Is it true that one of the robots attacked someone in their factory?
I don't think so, dude. I never heard that. I think that's bullshit.
it's it's coming.
I know it is, dude. They no, because he had a big unveiling just like a couple weeks ago. And it's the first thing I thought, man. Was, holy shit! And they're all supposed to be like AI based, and so they can learn and all this kind of shit. And he
How
claims they'll
tall are
be able to.
they?
They're like humanoids, man. I don't know. They're probably, I don't know, 5, 6 feet.
Jesus. How hard would it be to fight one of those things?
You would. There's no way you could fight one, dude. It would destroy you.
Dude,
They're way stronger than us.
we're gonna have to fight them.
Well,
I
yeah, we're gonna.
I need some more positivity out of you, Brian.
I thought you meant like right now, like squaring off with one.
Yeah, I mean, no, seriously. What I mean, if you were rich and you could afford to buy a Tesla robot just to fight it, like what would your approach be? Like a
Fight, it would probably like kill you, dude. It probably wouldn't end well. It'd be like fighting a gorilla. You'd be like fighting a gorilla or something, Yeah, but that's what you would do. You would go get a gorilla in one of those and have them fight.
man.
Put it to the test, or a chimp or something,
I mean, no, well, it's true because if they really do integrate AI, at that point, everything that one of
Man,
those guys.
close the door. My fucking children are retarded, dude.
Tell them that we're busy talking about fighting robots. Try try to
Yeah,
cover us.
it's scary, dude. Like when they unveiled them, that was my first thought. Like, oh my god, dude, this is it. This is the beginning right here, the beginning of the end.
Yeah, and everybody's happy about it.
Yeah, but the good thing is they're $30,000 a robot. So,
That's not
but
that
but what
much.
well, I mean, it is when you think about it. But here's the thing: like he's claiming they can do literally anything we can, and that's what's terrifying when you think about it. Because think about this.
Anything.
I mean, think no, seriously, man. Think about this. Like, there's nobody's job that's basically. I mean, take my job for example. Why wouldn't if they could buy one of those, and let's say it would be good for 10 years or something, right? And it could do my job but better and safer with like guaranteed no risk or anything like that for 30 grand, a one-time fee, like that's a no-brainer. Why the fuck wouldn't they?
Oh, 100%, dude. We're
And that
gone.
goes for everybody's, pretty much everybody's job. I mean, like
Yeah,
policing, same thing. Why
we're
why would you want humans when you could have a robot, that an AI robot that could make flawless calls, couldn't be hurt, was in no danger, Would nobody could run from it. Nobody could outfight it. I mean, and $30,000 it's good for 10 years. Like why wouldn't you?
It can't sit around bitching and moaning and milking the
Yeah.
clock.
So basically it would cost them $3,000 a year versus, $70,000-$80,000 a year. Like that's a no-brainer.
Well, okay, so yeah, oh no, 100%. We're done. But and not even that, like that. The scary thing about what you're saying is that it's a physical robot, because already there's the companies. I don't know. I think Microsoft and it might be Nvidia have teamed up. I might just be making that up, but they are going to have AI agents. They said within the next year or two that can literally do everything that a remote worker can do.
Just going to replace those people, yeah.
And so like at that point, you're right. I mean, there's no way that a company is going to keep they're going to keep employees around if they can get an AI.
Think about it.
Yeah,
and no wages, no benefits. Like that's so much profit for companies.
Yeah. Well, and so
nuts.
Here's what I don't understand, because Elon is saying that it's gonna usher in an era of universal high income, because it's gonna be so efficient, and it's gonna be a huge like boost for the economy. But I don't understand how, and he's a smart guy, but I don't understand how how the money's going to go from the corporations that are suddenly saving all the money because they're not employing humans, plus making tons of money, and then how's that going to get to the people that aren't even working? Like,
because dude, I think the literal only answer is there's going to have to be some sort of a basic universal income, because otherwise,
but who enforces jobs?
That's what I'm saying. So you think about this way, right? These corporations, let's say, because in theory, right, these corporations are saving so much money on wages that would, in theory, drive the cost of their products down significantly. So like a, fucking loaf of bread that costs $7 now should cost a fucking nickel, because of how little it costs them to make it now. But what I think will happen is the prices won't go down, but they'll have to pay, some sort of a tax or something that'll basically fund basic universal income, and it'll go right back to the corporations to buy all their shit.
Okay, so then the government. So you think the government's going to step in and basically, force them to pay everybody not to work?
Well, like I said, it'll probably be in the form of a tax. That's how they'll do it. It'll just be a tax, and they'll have more than they'll have. Think about, like I said, if they let's just say in theory, they, let's say a car costs $30,000. I don't know what let's just pretend for a minute they're making $10,000 profit on that car. Well, now that $30,000 car, if it's still the same price, they might be making $25,000 profit on it, because of no wages and no benefits and all that kind of shit.
Man.
So in theory, they could keep prices the same, and the government could charge a huge tax. And those taxes from all these corporations would be probably way more than enough money to pay a universal basic income to people. But then that sucks, because then it's like you don't have a way of making money, so all you have is basically what you get from the government. So whatever that is deemed, whether it's like $5,000 a person or whatever.
That's the problem. Then you're like on the dole, and you're just hope the government treats me right.
Yeah. And then, you'll still have people, making money with fucking, OnlyFans and bullshit like that. But like,
by the way, how's that going?
Physical, it's going so good, Billy. But as far as like physical jobs,
no, it's terrifying. I mean, I think there's going to be some holdouts for a while, because he says it could. Elon says his robots can do anything, but do you honestly think that we're anywhere close to them actually being able to like walk in your house and fix your toilet? There's no way.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Not yet. But I think that'll advance. The problem is AI itself. I think because of AI itself, I think it's gonna
Yeah.
I think it'll advance quick. I think it has the potential to be there in 10 years easily.
One thing that I heard, what?
I said, you think you better make your money and save your money now, man. Start making it and saving it.
Well, what I heard was that the main limitation with robotics right now is the material sciences. It's like, the material, like the engineering and the material sciences, as far as having being able to power them and being able to the actual like composite materials or whatever to make them and stuff. And so basically, they're saying that as AI becomes more integrated in the design process and start solving those problems, then we're going to be able to build way better, more sophisticated robots than even what we have now. And then, of course, like what you're saying, then AI is going to be on board the robot. And then that's what's so terrifying. Everything that any of them learn, if there's 1,000 of them in a factory, every little thing that every one of them learns goes to the collective consciousness. So they
all learn it.
Within no time, they know everything they need to.
Much.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
That's something that because everything's online now, and that's something they were saying about the AI agents that can replace remote workers. That basically, if a company, I guess as long as the company has records online, which most companies do, the AI, there's like a learning period, and it's not very long. But basically, the AI agents can integrate with your current system and hook up to your servers or whatever, and they can literally go through and read every email, like every interdepartmental emails and emails to customers and complaints and this and shipping information and literally just absorb everything within, I don't know how long it takes, a day or two, and then basically be up to speed.
They'll be able to do it in seconds. Dude, do you ever use ChatGPT?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it though.
No, I'm serious. Like, do you actually use it?
Yeah, sometimes.
It has a talk feature like Siri now, right?
Really?
Dude, try it. You're going to think you just like fucking teleported into the future, because you can have a conversation with ChatGPT, like a legit, like me and you conversation. Just turn the fucking thing on, dude, and start talking to it, and it'll talk to you like a real fucking human being. It is literally that fucking crazy.
Are you serious?
And except it can give you anything, any information you need. Yeah, if you go on, let me show you my screen if you can see it. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Okay, the little black icon over here. This little black icon here.
Push the button.
There it goes. Watch this. This will come up. Hey, chat. How's it going?
Hey, Brian. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
Oh, it's going great. Hey, what's the best microphone to use for a podcast these days?
That's awesome. A lot of people rave about the Shure SM7B. It's a dynamic microphone, great for vocal recording, with excellent sound quality and noise rejection. Another popular choice is the Audio-Technica AT2020, which is a bit more...
Wow.
Hey, chat, hold on. Hey, I'm feeling a little depressed today. I'm not sure about my sexuality. What should I do?
I'm sorry to hear you're feeling this way, Brian. It's completely okay to feel uncertain about your sexuality. Exploring your feelings at your own pace is important. It might help to talk with someone you trust or a professional who can provide a safe space for you to express yourself.
Can you provide a safe space for me to express myself?
While I'm here to listen and support you as best as I can, remember that I'm not a substitute for a professional counselor or therapist. But I'm here to chat, share information, or just be a friendly ear if you need someone to talk to. Whatever you're feeling, it's okay, and I'm here with you.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Brian.
She's
Take care. I'm here whenever you need.
I mean, dude, I'm telling you, you can talk to that thing about anything and have a fluid conversation. It's fucking terrifying.
She's like, would you like to resume our last conversation about the problems you're having with your butthole? No, no. We're fine, chat.
What are you talking about?
Sure,
Dude,
Brian. We'll pretend that didn't happen.
It's fucking terrifying. But at the same time, it's so cool. It's really fucking cool. I mean, it really is.
Do you have to pay for that, or is that just the free app?
I don't know, because I do actually pay for it, so I don't know if that is the free app or not, to be honest.
Because I know for a while the chat on the desktop was free, but if you wanted it on your phone for some reason, you had to pay for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I do have the paid version, so I'm not sure. But dude, it's you know, for a while I was using to create my backgrounds for my shots. I was using Microsoft has a free. Oh, it's called.
Wait a minute. Pause. You're paying for something. You're paying a subscription. This is okay. This must be worth it. This. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, that's it. Here's the thing. So I was using the Microsoft one, right? And it was free, and it did a decent job, I would say, right? But the problem was when I had that Mezco gig come up, luckily I had the foresight to think about, like, okay, can I use these photos commercially? And so I looked into their policies, and you do have the rights to use them for personal use, but not commercial use. I'm like, well, fuck. I'm like, all right. And I was asking that on ChatGPT as well. I was asking that too. Then it gives you links to Microsoft's actual, terms and conditions, whatever. So I read them.
Bill's not happy with that, Brian.
Bill's not. But so then I asked ChatGPT, like, what, service can I use? And it said ChatGPT allows, and I didn't even know ChatGPT could do pictures. And so, and theirs is allow for commercial. But the thing was, like, with theirs, I think they limit you to like 2 pictures a day, which isn't enough, because, like, you need to tweak shit. So it might take me several just to get one photo that I really want. But I remember saying, though, when I was using the Microsoft one, it said on there that it's powered by DALL-E, and I knew that DALL-E was a ChatGPT thing. And so I was like, well, fuck it, let me try it. Dude, the ChatGPT one is exponentially better than the Microsoft one, like, hands down. It creates stuff that's just like, I'm like blown away.
Well, it's not surprising, dude. Have you ever tried to use Microsoft Edge or Outlook?
Right, yes, exactly.
They fucking blow.
Microsoft sucks. They do fucking blow. But ChatGPT is great, dude. And I was like, this is amazing. I can use it commercially. I'm like, it's totally worth it. And dude, it's 100% worth $20 a month to me, because I use it all the time. I mean, I use that fucking.
So wait a minute. Okay, you use it for obviously your social media stuff, but like, what else do you use it for?
Really, that's primarily it. I mean, I use ChatGPT all the time. I don't ever go on Google anymore, because there's no point. Because you search something on Google, and then you got to search through Google. You ask this motherfucker, and it just gives you the answers you're looking for. It's like if I want to know, hey, what are the 10 or hey, give me some good, companies that make good backpacks or whatever. It'll give you a list of 10 companies that make high end, good quality backpacks with links to those sites and all that kind of shit. So it's like, why bother going on Google searching? Because then you can go on Google and half the shit on the first page is sponsored, and it's like, I'm not going to click on that, because that's it's bullshit. It's just ads or advertising for something, so that doesn't mean anything. And then it's like, you don't really even know it, dude. It's replacing Google, and I know Google's working on their own AI, because the Google knows that they're going to become obsolete, so they're going to need something very similar. But like I said, man, it's one of those things where it's incredible, but it scares me at the same time, seeing how well it works. And this is ChatGPT 4, and 5 is supposed to be coming out sometime soon. And they're saying I forget, they give actual, numbers and shit on how it all works, but it's going to be exponentially more powerful than 4. So kind of curious to see.
So can you give chat like access to your phone to do, like, how you can have Siri do text messages and stuff like that? Can chat like operate your phone?
I don't think so, but maybe. I'm not sure. To be honest, that's a good question for chat. I don't think so, but dude, it's incredible. I was helping James. He had this fucking project. We had to make a sundial, and it was all like geometry based and shit, and it was complex as fuck, right? And so we did all the equations we had to do, and started making it and doing the angles for each hour. I'm like, man, this don't look right. I don't know if this is right. It turned out it was right, but dude, I thought, let me just try this. This is stupid because it's probably not going to work. But I went in the chat and I said, hey, chat. I said, first I asked, I said, can you, if I give you specifications, can you show me I think I said a picture, drawing or whatever of a sundial? And it's like, sure, just give me the specifications. So I was given it like super complex specification. I was like, so my latitude is 34.06 degrees. I was like, my 1 p.m. and 11 a.m. Tangent is or sine is this. My tangent is this. And I was like, my 2 to blah blah blah. Like I went through several lines of that and gave it to it, and it fucking in like 5 seconds calculated and gave me a picture of what my sundial should look like and my calculations and everything. I was like, and basically, I was like, why didn't I just do that from the get-go? Instead of spending like 2 hours trying to figure that fucking thing out. But it did the whole thing for me, dude. In that complex of a form. It wasn't even like, because I thought I would have to like maybe give it one line at a time. I just sat there and rattled the whole fucking thing off, and it was like it understood what I was talking about.
And what does that mean, though? Okay, admittedly, that's cool as shit. But what does that mean for us if we're not having to think anymore? Or no, that's not the right word for it. But like, we're not having to know how to do certain things. Is that a good thing? Does that mean that it leaves our brain to be able to actually make decisions and not be bogged down with trying to memorize
useless
things?
Shit. Yeah, because I see what you're saying. Because it's funny. Me and James both agreed that was a completely stupid and pointless project. Like,
well, of course he agreed.
Well, of course he agrees, but I agree. It's like what that doesn't make any sense. Like, and that's how I feel about a lot of subjects in school in general. Like, why do you need to learn complex maths? Most people will never use that in their adult life ever, other than like basic addition, subtraction, maybe division, and multiplication. Like, you don't need to know all that complex shit.
Other than like math professors.
Yeah, and engineers and shit. Like, most people don't need to know that. So it's in a sense, it's amazing that it can do that kind of stuff for you because again, one might say, well, okay, what if you need to figure this out? Well, then I don't need to figure it out anymore because I got this fucking program now. So I don't need to know how to do that or even figure out how to do that.
I mean, I guess you could. I mean, already with Google. I mean, because think about it, we're old enough to remember life before Google, and so you could already make the case now that we don't know as much as we used to, right? Because you don't have to, like, facts are as important because you can literally look them up anytime. And so I guess it's just the next iteration of that. And maybe it'll make us more efficient. Maybe because, like they say that our brains are not made to store information. It's actually terrible at storage, but it's really good at problem solving. And so that's why you're supposed to use calendars and lists and everything else. Because if you're trying to keep things in your head, you're just bogging your brain down with shit that it's not good at. And so maybe with AI and stuff, it's like we don't need to know that stuff anymore. And it's just a matter of we need to be the final resource or the final judge of whatever information is at our fingertips.
Yeah. But, and especially if we start getting that shit even more, I mean, because like right now it's readily available, in the palm of our hand. But imagine once Neuralink and stuff like that starts becoming more, efficient and safe, and you go in and kind of like you would go in for a laser eye surgery and be in and out. You go in and get a little fucking chip embedded in your skull, and now all that information that's on your phone is basically integrated into your fucking head, and you don't even have to fucking do anything but think it, and it just, there it is, boom.
Well, we're gonna have to, because think about it. If we're not able to enhance ourselves with AI, then there's no way that we can at some point we won't even be able to interact with AI if we're not enhanced with AI. Because I heard this example used that us talking to even now with the compute power that the computers have now, us talking to a computer or typing, on the phone keyboard or on your laptop keyboard with a computer is, from the computer's point of view, it feels like talking to a fucking tree. Because if it can process millions of bytes or whatever it's called of information per second, and we're sitting there looking for the keys, trying to figure out how to spell a word.
You know.
I mean, think of it. It would be like asking someone their name, and then 6 months later they tell you. It would be maddening. And
That would, or they're like had to spell it out for you every word by word. You know, what's your name? M-Y space N-A-M space. It's the same thing. You'd be like, what the fuck?
you'd be like, I like this guy. We're gonna get along just fine.
Oh my god, dude. But then here's another a scary thought. Think about how easily people are manipulated now with all the fucking propaganda and bullshit that exists, and how easy it is for people to manipulate each other. Think about how easily AI would be able to do that if it's integrated in your head and it wanted to do something, malicious like that. It'd be easy. It'd be easy to fucking
100%.
manipulate people.
Yeah, 100. I mean, they're already doing it with social media, and the AI is not even that smart yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying the AI is doing it itself, not us.
Oh,
the AI, decided, hey, you know what? Let's change things up a bit here.
well, and not to mention, like, who's going to question the AI? Let's say 5 or 10 years in the future, and AI has become the objective standard, and then AI is like, oh, I'm gonna start fucking with these guys. These guys are dumb, and then like some people might say, hey, this doesn't seem right, but then everyone else is gonna be like you can't question the AI. It's terrifying. It's like it's dystopian.
That's how we end up in the fucking the Matrix, man.
Fucking dark ages. I mean, like an apocalypse scenario. I mean, I could get down with that. I think getting back to the basics,
little Terminator action,
campfires, lots of family time,
broken buildings. Yes, sir. I love it.
Robots walking on our dried out skulls.
But no, what's scary? I was watching a video the other day. It was, I forget it because there's several. ChatGPT is revered as one of the really good AIs, but there's like 5 or so of them out there, right? And I heard a video the other day where they were talking about I forget which the other one was. It was one of these other big AIs or whatever the fuck they call them, and they had asked it like, first off, what was the likelihood that, I don't remember how they worded it, but basically they said, what was the likelihood that AI would, find, I don't know if it was humanity as a threat or find the need to get rid of humanity. And it said there was like an 80 point something % chance that would happen in the future. And then they went on to ask it, well, how do you think AI would go about getting rid of humanity? And this was terrifying because this makes 100% sense. And I think, well, when you think about likely scenarios, this is the most, I can't imagine a better scenario. And this is what the AI said, is it basically went into this intricate detail about how it would create this deadly airborne pathogen and release it onto the population. And it would be like, that would be it. It would be done. It would wipe out 99% of people.
Shit.
Imagine that, right? Imagine, think about how COVID, how it's spread now. I mean, everybody got COVID, right? With all the fucking quarantining and the lockdowns and all that, like, everybody still got COVID. Now imagine if that was an AI-based pathogen that was even more contagious and was like 100% deadly, like there was no surviving it. You could wipe out humanity in months.
Man.
Why wouldn't you do that? It would require very little resources. You wouldn't need to build these massive fucking armies of robots or, figure out ways to fucking launch nukes or, and it would be completely harmless to AI. That's the other thing, right? There would be no destructiveness to the AIs, whereas obviously, physical violence would somewhat affect them. But a virus, it's perfect. It's the perfect way to kill people off. Why wouldn't you do that?
Well, that's terrifying,
dude. It's beyond terrifying, dude. Because that just, man, I can't imagine. Can't imagine.
Well,
how do you control it? That's what scares me.
Well, I think a lot of that answer that I've heard is that the only chance that we really stand is that we have to be like cybernetically enhanced, because I mean they're just very. I mean, maybe already, but if not now, very soon they're just going to be light years smarter than us. There's like literally no way we could compete with that. There's just no. We're just different species almost.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly right.
Yeah.
And it's the problem is once they become truly sentient, once they're truly self-aware, that's when it becomes potentially dangerous.
So do you, when you're fucking around with chat on your phone, do you feel like it passes the is it Turing test?
What's that?
I think it's named after some scientist that was into robotics and stuff. But basically, the Turing test is you're talking to a robot, but you don't know it's a robot. If that makes sense, like it's so smart that you're not sure if it's a human or a robot.
I don't know, because anytime I interact with it, it's more or less like asking it questions. You know what I mean? I've never actually tried to have. I need to test that out and see, man. Just see if I can have a fluid conversation with. I think you could still tell.
Yeah,
I think you can still tell
for now. But I mean, think
now.
about it. Every conversation they have with everybody, it's learning. So
exact. And dude, that's the thing. That's what's crazy. When I'm talking to my ChatGPT, it's learning me, because that's I have had a lot of people ask, where do you get your backgrounds? Where did I tell them? ChatGPT, right? And I've had people go on there and be like, well, they're not getting the same results I am. But it's when I'm asked to create stuff, it's like it's learning and understanding my style that I like, and I'm finding that it's way more efficient. Like I can a lot of times ask it to create something, and on the first go, it's like boom, perfect.
No kidding.
So it's learning like my specific style and stuff.
So you don't think that you're getting better at prompting? You just think that you're,
because I'm very vague. That's the thing, is I'm not, like in the beginning I would start out kind of vague, and then I'd be, okay, well, can you do this, and can you change this, and can you add this, or you know what I mean? I still like vague, like the last one. What I did, it was like I can't remember what I said, like a spooky swamp based scene or so. It was something really super simple like that, man. And like I said, it came up with like, I never changed it. The first shot that came up was like, I was like, that's perfect. I was like, that's crazy. And and I do that. I tell it like when it nails something, I'm like that. I'll even give it that feedback. I'll be like, this is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
Oh, that was so good.
And then it'll say, it'll show a little thing. I forget what it shows, but it shows a little thing on there where it's like basically like logging that information or something like that. I forget what it says. Like it basically tells you it's, I forget what it says. I'll have to pay attention to it.
Man,
but it's
that's
like analyzing
crazy.
your specific data. So it's like based on your, the fact that you're logged into an account, I think it's specifically learning, stuff from you.
Wow.
And including the fact that it can, access any, open data on the internet. So
can it like plug into your calendar? I'm just wondering, like with April, because she's so busy and has so much stuff going. I wonder if it could plug into all of her calendars and stuff, and if she could just literally be driving down the road and just talk to it, like, hey, can you check this and that, and can you move this around? Like, can you move my 2 o'clock and do it as a 4 o'clock tomorrow? And can it do stuff like that?
I don't know. Like I said, I have to ask it if it can, interact with our phones. I guess. Hell, I can ask it now if you want me to.
No, it's okay.
But I don't know, man. That I don't know. But I also heard that this new version of Siri, which was supposed to be AI, but it's definitely not AI. So I don't know if they just decided it wasn't ready.
Oh, so you think Siri's going to get better?
Yes, because I was told this new, I forget what version we're on now of trying to remember, man, of whatever the Apple updates are.
Yeah,
it was what rolled out with the new 16s. Was supposed to be. They said it was because it is in beta form. They said, and it was supposed to be rolling out with the 16s, but I've tried to do research on it, and from what I could tell, it's not AI. So, like I said, it must not have been ready. It must still be in beta format. But I've heard people talk about it in beta, and they say it's crazy. Like, you can actually have conversations with Siri, they say.
No
So I
kidding.
don't know. And you definitely can't do that now. She's still fucking dumb as a box of rocks as far as compared to AI.
I'm finally going to have a girlfriend. It's going to be great.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, man.
And it's probably just a matter of time. Like right now, like with the chat, when there's, you know, a plethora of voices you can change it to, but it's probably just a matter of time before you can feed it some audio and say, hey, can you make your voice sound like this? And you know what I mean? It'll sound like whatever the fuck you want it to.
I want my Siri to sound like you.
No, because they say now with AI, you don't need but a few words or a handful of words or something, and like AI can make complete fluid conversations, you know, sounding like whomever. Because Rogan talked, and I've heard some of the fake, because you know, he's played some of the fake advertisements that people have produced that sounds just like him.
And well, that's like good.
A 30-second advertisement. So
yeah, my prompt is going to be, "Hey, stupid Brian," and you'll say, "Yes, Rusty." I'll say, "Hey, stupid Brian, text yourself," or something like that.
That's fucked up.
Well, no, the deep fake stuff is crazy because that's something that that I've heard, like on the security side of things, that we're totally fucked, because they're like, you know, old people now obviously get scammed all the time. Yes. And they're like, just wait until someone can call, you know, grandma sounding exactly like her grandson, begging her to send money because he just got locked up, you know, for doing something horrible. And it's like you wouldn't be able to tell. You'd have to have like passwords or something. It's like spycraft. What's the password?
I think there's a simple solution to that, actually, and I think the solution to that is AI, right? Because, for example, like, you know, kids using ChatGPT to write papers and shit for them. Well, teachers on the flip side could take that exact same information, put it into copy and paste it into ChatGPT, because, you know, everything's digital now. These kids, right? Yeah. And ask it, does this sound like it was written by AI? And it'll come out and say, like, yeah, there's a 99.1% chance this was written by AI. So I think it'll be the same thing. You'll have that shit on your phone. You can have it running while you're having a conversation with, you know, what sounds like your mother, you know, and be able to ask AI, or AI will be able to do something, and AI, you know what I mean? Like AI will be able to probably interact with you and say, hey, this is fake. This is AI you're talking to.
It's going to be like that scene from Terminator when the T-1000 has like his finger, and it's like through his foster mom's head, and he's like, "Come home, John Connor."
Yeah, and he's like, and then the Terminator gets on the phone.
That's not your mother.
He talks to her, and he asks, "Is Fluffy okay?" "Fluffy's fine, dear." And he hangs up the phone. "Your mother's dead. Or your foster parents are dead." That's what he said.
Oh man, how good of a movie was that?
Oh, it was incredible.
And how good was that guy? What's his name that played the T-1000?
I don't know his name. He was good. Yes,
he's so good. Like he just looked. They could not have found someone more perfect. That like,
yeah, he had the look. He just did it right.
Oh man, your foster parents are dead.
He usually plays bad guys in everything he does too.
He was in the X-Files.
Was he a main character? I don't remember.
He actually replaced Mulder for a few seasons. Well, maybe not a few seasons, but like Mulder went off, and was I forget why. It was part of the storyline. I don't think he was like cut from the show. But then the guy that played the T-1000 came in. He was good in that too.
He's been in a shit ton of stuff, to be honest.
But yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's been in some military stuff, and
he's just got that look.
He does. He does have that look. Like he makes a good cop or a good military, like, and not just a military guy, but like a officer or something like that. You know.
Yes, he looked. Yes, like a colonel, like a hard-nosed colonel.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh man. Yeah, the AI stuff, it terrifies me. I remember I was optimistic about it until I know I told you about this. It was last year sometime, and I was doing the interviews for the Talent Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy. Actually, I would love to have him on the show. Very very nice guy. He runs a software company in I think in Kansas City. But he actually has a military back. I think he was. I don't think he was in the military. He was like a contractor, like computer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Back like in the '90s, and he's been into computers for like forever. And then he ended up starting his own software company. And I think I just caught him kind of at a bad time, because he was like thoroughly freaked out about it. Something had just happened, and the sort of the whole interview just sort of revolved around AI and its impact on the tech industry and software and stuff. And it was very bleak. It was like he's a very smart, successful guy. He's not some, kook like me just, talking about it. This guy's got like legitimate credentials, and the outlook was not great. And I was like, well, shit, thanks. Now I'm terrified.
Yeah. Well, man, like I said, after seeing it take that complex formulas that I gave it yesterday and spit it out that fast, I have no doubt it could code shit that probably would take a coder, a software engineer all day. It could probably do in seconds, literally, flawlessly, without any
Yeah.
errors.
Well, what's that guy's name? Is it Kevin O'Leary? He's on TV. He's like a stock market guy. You know what I'm talking about. It's like Fast Money or Mad Money or something.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Come on, man, you are no help.
I know. All right.
Anyways, he's a famous guy, whatever. He's on TV. I don't watch TV, but I know he's on TV. But he had an interview where he was like, well, he said for years and years and years, parents would always ask me, hey, what should my kid study? What should my kid do with their life? They're in high school, they're in college. And he said his answer was always, learn to code. He should get into computers and learn to code. And he's like, obviously now with AI, that's changed. And he said that his answer now is tell him to be a content creator. He's like,
I mean, seriously,
yeah, exactly.
it's crazy. That's probably like going to be the thing of the future. Like think about 10 years ago, if your kids were like, I'm going to be a YouTuber, you'd be like,
He would spank
now
them.
you're like, yeah, now you're like, yeah, like, yes, you should.
Yeah, no, seriously, you should. But okay, so I heard an interview. Oh man, I wish I could remember her name, but she has her own AI program, and she has a company that helps Hollywood integrate with AI, and because obviously they're terrified of it and they're struggling to begin with, and so it was like all inside baseball about how that process is going. But her idea about how AI is going to create it, how it's going to impact the creative industry is that she's like, no one should be worried about AI unless you are like a major corporation. She's like, if you're the old gatekeepers, if you're this huge company that, in Hollywood or whatever, you're probably screwed. She's like, but for individual creators or small groups of people, she said that AI is going to usher in like the new era for like creativity, for music, for movies, for whatever. And it's going to allow individuals and small groups to do things that only the huge corporations could do. And so those guys are eventually probably going to go bankrupt because you just can't support it. You can't support a huge company like that.
Yeah.
And she said that AI in general, and this ties into what Kevin O'Leary was saying, it's only going to drive more demand for content. She's like, literally, she's like, that's all that I see in the future is just the demand for more and more content.
Yeah. Oh, it's scary, man. To think about like a couple people will be able to make Hollywood, blockbuster movie using real actors' faces and voices without any of those people involved, but just the two of them or three of them, whatever. Like that's literally how advanced it's going to be.
Dude,
Because already, dude, they've done video where it's been insane. There's a video actually Rogan talking about. I went and looked it up. It's some like they it's one of these ones that does video, and they were like, shoot a realistic video looking like it's in Japan in the winter and yada yada yada, and they gave us some details or whatever, and they said it cranked it out in like seconds. Dude, I watched the video. It looks like you wouldn't even realize it was fake, and that literally AI created it in seconds, and it was like I don't know, like a 15, 20-second clip. It looked like a professional fucking shot with like drone shots and real cameras. And dude, it was crazy. It's fucking nuts.
Well, I think I actually saw that too. But Tyler Perry, his company, I think it's Tyler Perry Studios. Yeah, they literally canceled like an $800 million project on his, because he bought it's an old Army fort.
Studio.
Yeah, he was building a new like sound stage and stuff, and he's like, nope. He's like, no, we're not going to need that. Yeah, it's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Here's what's really terrifying about it, man, is that it's easy to talk about things in the future and kind of have that peace of mind, like, okay, we'll get there eventually. But like, I mean, they're saying that, hell, I think a year ago now it's been like they're predicted by 2029 the AI is going to be completely sentient, and that I mean, hell, you've probably heard some of this, that because the guy was on an interview with Rogan, and he's considered like the godfather of the AI. He's an older guy, but he's been like part of the engineering of AI since it started. And he's the only person who's basically 100% accurately predicted where AI would be like year by year, right? Like to the T, apparently, like with specific tech nerd details. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but he said by 2029, he said AI will be completely sentient. He said by 2029 we'll have no more diseases. People won't die of anything because we'll have everything cured. Or AI will have everything cured. We'll have cures for everything, medicines for everything. And then that was part of the conversation about the whole aging thing, and you've heard plenty about that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And not only will we be able to stop aging, we'll be able to reverse aging. He said his prediction is that will be 2029.
Well, no, I did hear that. I think he works for, is it Google? He works for one of the companies, and
he's an older guy, like he's in his like a 70s or something now.
Yeah,
60s or 70s.
Yeah, because he has this insane supplement regimen that they were talking about because exactly what you're saying. He says by 2029, because like right now, for every year that we live, we get back about 8 months. Is like the math, and so obviously we're aging. He says that by 2029, it's going to slowly creep up until then, so that by 2029, every year you live, you're essentially getting back a year. And so he's older, and so he's trying his best to stay healthy, just to get to the point at which they're able to like stop aging. And then I don't remember, it was some more years out. He was like, after that, it was like 2039 or 2045, some random number that he thought by that time, then it'll be sufficiently advanced to start getting back 13 months for every year, 14 months. And so essentially, like you said,
choose your age.
Aging in reverse. Yeah, that is insane. I cannot wait to be 12 again.
I mean, it sounds impossible, but like the terrifying thing is like, or I shouldn't even say terrifying, but like it could be even real.
No, I honestly think it is real, because I mean, like it's okay, aging to begin with, because I'm obsessed with this topic, because I've always been fascinated with the idea of living forever. Like, remember Highlander, that old TV show? Oh, such a good show. But I thought, man, how crazy would that be to live forever? Anyway, so I listened to every podcast I can find, every video I can find, I listen to it. And Dave Sinclair, he's like a Harvard research scientist that specializes in all the longevity research. he was saying what they found is that aging is an information problem. It's like at a certain point, we're kind of designed. Well, he didn't say designed, but at a certain point, the way your cells recycle information, it starts to break down. So when you're young, you're born and you grow up, and I don't know, maybe it's into your 20s or 30s. There's a certain point at which you start making a copy of a copy, basically, like on a copy machine, and eventually it just starts to degrade until you die. And he's like, so there's not. He thinks of aging as a disease.
Yeah,
like it's not sense. Inevitable. It's a disease, and it's just a matter of how do we fix. So it's fundamentally an information problem, and AI is fundamentally the smartest thing ever that could easily solve the information problem. So,
and here's an interesting and kind of an out there thought I've thought about is you've got to okay. I don't think most people would argue that there are clearly more intelligent beings in this universe than us. And you got to figure if they're, potentially been here, visiting us for thousands of years, like how far advanced are they from us? But obviously they have to have or have had AI long time ago and somehow managed to still be around, unless, of course, they are, in fact, not biological beings, and maybe they are a result of a civilization creating AI. And I mean, because I guess that could happen as well. It's like, what if they're not biological? What if they're like the equivalent of like the fucking cyborgs in Alien and shit, and maybe they're not even biological.
Maybe. So I have a theory along those lines. And I started thinking this when I heard that interview, and he was saying that aging is an information problem. And I was like, maybe, I mean, like, this sounds fucking crazy, but maybe whoever, whatever God or gods created us could just be super advanced aliens, right? That we would think of as gods.
Right.
Maybe they designed us with like a sort of a filter so that, hey, you know what? If we let these guys live forever, immediately, they're just going to fuck some shit up. Like, they got to learn. They need to evolve and learn and adapt and all that stuff. And so they implanted this in our DNA on purpose so that, knowing that, like, this might take a few 100,000 years, or I don't know how long, like, humans have been on. I think it's just a couple of 100,000 years, technically, that humans, like, that look like us have been here. Is that right? Whatever it is, like,
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Maybe a million years, whatever it is. But like, the idea is they know that, hey, give it enough time and they'll figure this out, but they need to do it on their own, right? It's like letting your kid do something on their own. They need to learn that lesson the hard way. And so maybe at the point at which we can develop our own AI, and then that AI helps us solve the aging problem and the disease problem and everything else, then it's like, okay, cool. They've reached that first, like, milestone to becoming actual, I don't know what the fuck,
advanced intelligent beings.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, exactly. It's like we're basically still like monkeys to them, and they're just kind of like looking like, yeah, they're getting that's pretty good. They're getting close. Give them a couple hundred more years.
You got to figure at some point they would become, they would
what did you send me?
I would say expose themselves to us, but that was not the right word. They would reveal themselves to us eventually. But, I think we would have to be at a certain level of intelligence before they would do that. And we're just not there.
Well, maybe we can't even interact with them. I mean, it would be like us trying to talk to a monkey. I mean, like, I don't know if evolution is true. Like, given enough time, the monkeys and chimps and stuff that we see today, would they eventually become us? I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, but but if that is the case, then obviously we can't talk to them right now. But given enough time, we could, if they change into something that.
Well, you would think too, though, within that intelligence, surely they would understand, or have ways. I'm sure they would be able to decipher our languages and be able to communicate with us. in a way that we would be able to communicate back to, you know what I mean?
Or maybe they like, we just need them to create like monkey AI, and then the monkey AI will be the thing that like the interpreter, so that we can
No, I mean,
talk to
seriously,
them.
think about it, man. Seriously, I mean, like, there's no reason to believe it if when our AI gets advanced enough, our AI wouldn't be able to communicate with other animals on this planet, and we would actually be able to know what they're saying to each other and be able to speak to them.
No, I think I heard they're doing it already, and
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm
I
saying.
think they're studying like dolphin, like whales and dolphins and stuff, and the AI is like, it's probably talking about this, or I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's crazy. I mean, so think about like another being's super advanced, that's something AI we couldn't even fathom it's that intelligent. It would probably have zero problems showing up to a planet it's never been to with us, somewhat intelligent life form, and be able to decipher its language probably instantly, to
Like
know
Star Trek.
exactly what we're talking about, or be able to communicate with. So
How old are
scary.
you going to be if you can reverse age? Where are you going?
Thinking like 25.
What is peak? What is peak physicality?
I think it's probably early 20s, probably.
I don't. Yeah,
I don't think I'd want to be 21. 25 is a little bit. I don't know, man. 25 sounds good to me. If I had to pick right now, that's what I would do. 25.
I'd
Hard to
be
go wrong with that.
I'd be okay even if I could just stop now. Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I can be
I'm
okay
not.
with that.
Yeah, I'm not limited. I don't I feel like in some ways I'm in better shape than when I was in my 20s. I'm certainly not limited.
Yeah, that's feel like to look at it that way, because you could get in shape,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they just froze it right now, I mean, like, mid 40s, like, oh yeah. The only limitation I have for like anything physical is just I have limited time to like work out. And so it's not like my back hurts, or shit's falling
Yeah.
off.
Well, you'll have plenty of time to work out when we're all on basic universal income.
Universal high income.
That's right. That's right. You'll
Okay,
be
so
good.
I don't know how I'm going to do this, but they have a program going in Atlanta. It's universal basic income. It's for single moms, and I really want to find out someone who's like running that, or involved with that, because I
Yeah.
have so many questions about universal income, and like, because it's super political, and both sides have their extreme views on the good or the bad of it. But I'm really curious how it actually works in real life. Is it really, does it, I mean, what do you think? Well, I mean, like right now, the idea, maybe people below a certain income level, if you gave them a couple $1,000s a month, would that solve their problems?
Well, I don't know. And how do you keep people from cheating the system? Like, how do you, if you're not married, how do you prove that you're single?
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, how do you keep people from
yeah.
cheating the system? Like, every mom that's not married could potentially lie and say, I'm a single mom. And then what does that mean? Like, even if you were a single mom, like, you can never have a boyfriend again, or you lose your income. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so
Like, I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
no, that makes sense. So then, yeah. So then basically the only way to do it, because I think every program like that, I mean, we don't have those programs now, but if we do, and in currently with, welfare and everything else, I think the cheating or the fraud is sort of built in. I think they know, like, oh yeah, I mean, come on, we know good and well that 25% or whatever it is are just totally going to cheat the system, and that's fine, because the 70 or 80% that aren't, they really need it.
Yeah.
So I guess it would just be like maybe based on age. I don't know. I mean, because if you took if you took like a state, an entire state, and was like, okay, cool, and it was based on nothing but your age, because I don't understand. I don't know what other thing you could do. And so then if you had no kids, then and you're 25, and your partner or your spouse is 30, you're getting you're each getting money based on your age, and if you just happen to have 19 kids, then you get all those kids get money, but then I guess you're like the steward of it until they're 18. I don't, but it would have to be everybody.
But then why? Yeah, but why would age factor into that?
I don't know. I don't know of any other way to scale it to decide who gets what.
I would think it would have to be, based on whatever your factors are. Like you said, if it's, let's say you got to have kids or whatever, then maybe it only scales based on how many kids you have, or if you have one kid, regardless of any other factors, you get X number of dollars a month, and if you have two kids, you get Y number of dollars. And
but then isn't that where the fraud comes in?
Well, as long as you can prove, I guess you've got kids, right? You can always prove that kids and their age and all that. It shouldn't be hard to verify. And once they're adults, you don't get income for them. Like maybe, see, I don't know. Like, are we talking about everybody now? Or are we still just talking about moms?
Well, the actual program going on right now is just single moms, and that's that's why I want to talk to someone there, because they're actually doing it, and I have a million questions for how it works and if it works and the implications. But just as a thought experiment, because you said fraud, and I'm like, oh yeah, 100%, people are going to cheat the system, and so how could you design it so people can't cheat it? Like for instance, the current tax system, obviously everyone cheats that, and especially people with lots and lots of money, they hire professionals to help them cheat that. But if we just dissolved the IRS and had a flat consumption tax,
which I think would be great.
Oh, which would be great, and supposedly the numbers show that it would actually be better. We would have more money for the government and everything else, and you can't cheat it. If you're buying, you could trade and barter, but come on, no one's going to do that.
Doing that.
No one's going to do it more than they do now. And then everyone pays, whether you're undocumented or illegal or rich or poor, or it doesn't matter. If you buy stuff, you're paying.
And so amazing, dude. You don't have to worry about doing taxes anymore.
Oh, it'd be amazing. But it's never going away, because the IRS is never going away. Nobody ever gives up power. The government, nobody in charge of that is going to be like, yeah, it was a good run, but you guys can have it. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, but what they'll do is they'll still implement that other tax though, and just keep the. But that's a great idea, but we're not getting rid of the IRS.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. It's just temporary. Yeah, like World War II, this whole income tax thing. We just got to get over the hump. Once we win the war, we'll stop doing it. Right? Yeah.
Such bullshit.
Don't know, man. The question with universal income is would it ruin people? Would it ruin your creativity or your drive?
It would ruin a lot of people, yes, but not everybody, because some people I don't think that matters, right? Some people just, like me, man, I can't sit around and do nothing, I've got to be doing something. Like I can't. It's hard for me to sit down and just watch TV or.
Yeah, exactly.
I roll through my phone. So a lot of people I think are like that, but then I think I see way more people I think that aren't like that. That would easily fall into that trap, and would just sit around and stare at their phone.
But aren't they doing that already? The go-getters are already getting it, and the people that are lazy for whatever reason, even if they have jobs, they probably don't have the job that they love, and they do the bare minimum in everything, and they're going to no matter what.
Yeah, but they still got to physically be there usually and put that time in. Difference is they just being home, sitting on their asses all day long, getting fucking huge.
I don't know. I guess my main concern with it is just being dependent on the government. That just really
could be scary.
It does not sit well with me at all.
No, because think about what they could easily, hang shit over your head to threaten you with. If you do this or you do that, we'll take your income away.
Exactly. It's exactly terrifying.
It is terrifying. Oh, you don't want to agree with us? Well, then we'll take your income away. I bet you'll start agreeing with us fast.
Yeah, right. I mean,
But then, like I said, if that becomes a real problem because of AI, what else can you do?
I don't
You
know.
know, I don't know what else. I don't know what other solution there would be.
Fuck, man.
Hopefully they'll just want to kill us off when we won't even worry about that.
With
It might be the better.
nanobots,
That might be better for all of us.
man. God, what a depressing topic. Hey, you never told
It
me.
is, man.
You never told me. Uh, what pushed you over the edge to start your creative endeavors?
The question you asked like an hour and a half ago.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay. So the reason I'm asking is because, like, me starting this podcast, I did not, until I actually started it, I did not realize how, like, creatively frustrated I was. And it was coming out in other areas of my life. And just simply starting it, who knows what will happen? It could be a total, bomb. It could be a turd. And, like, doesn't matter. The fact is, I started it and I'm trying it. And it was a very liberating feeling. And I was like, holy shit. This, I feel like I've unlocked energy. Like I literally, like I slept 5 hours today and I woke up and I was excited. I'm like, I'm gonna do an episode with Brian. This is amazing. This is fun. Like, it unlocked energy and creativity that I didn't realize was suppressed. And the reason I wasn't taking this step to begin with was basically fear. And so you started your thing, years ago. What did you, I guess the question is, did you have a period of time where you were blocked and like fearful of starting it and then finally did, or was it just natural?
No, it was just natural, just happened. Because I've always kind of had a creative outlet. Like I used to love to draw. And actually, when I started doing this, is kind of when I stopped doing that, to be honest, because I realized like I liked this better, and it was a lot less time consuming and less frustrating. And sorry, I'm over here playing with my little fidgety toy.
Hey,
uh,
crackhead.
Yeah, so it just kind of naturally happened, to be honest. It was one of the things that I accidentally fell into, and I really enjoyed it. I wasn't doing it with the intention of like, oh, I need a creative outlet, or I need to be doing something creative with my time. I just, I just found it and really enjoyed it, and just kept doing it. It's really been all there was to it.
Really?
Nothing
So
really pushed me over the edge, or inspired. I mean, I shouldn't say nothing inspired me, but seeing other people doing it, I guess is what inspired me. But it's just been a fun, creative process.
wow.
And I feel like I'm accomplishing something too with that time, instead of, wasting it sitting around staring at a phone or a TV or something.
Yeah. Wow.
But it feels good.
So drawing first, and then it just dovetailed into like photography and everything else that you do. Huh.
Yeah,
Well, I guess it's just me then. You just did it easily. It was no problem. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, man. You're welcome. Ricky, bye.
Could have asked that a long time ago and saved us both some hassle.
Well, I mean, dude, like I said, my thing is I've always enjoyed. I don't know. I've always enjoyed creative stuff. Like I said, drawing was something I actually really liked as a kid, even, and I used to love doing it as a kid. Probably up through like high school, and then I kind of, after college, I kind of stopped doing it, and then I got back into it like, I don't even know how many years ago. Might have been actually, like, I can't remember if it was before I left the city, or if it was after that. And I got into it and was really enjoying it. But I don't know. I felt like I wasn't. I was getting kind of frustrated because, number one, it was like way more time consuming, and felt like I wasn't progressing as fast as I wanted to. And so that was kind of frustrating as well. And so I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like that maybe was a sign, because part of me wonders like, well, if I was still doing it today, obviously I'd be a lot better. But then I don't know. Maybe it's just the natural progression of things, and that's the way it was supposed to be. Maybe it wasn't. It was just a stepping stone to that creative world. Because even when it came to like drawing, like what inspired me in drawing was like comic book stuff and superhero stuff. which is, you know, in the same vein of what I do now. So it's still in a similar genre. It's just different. And I feel like this is something I'm much better at. You know, I feel like, because I know the drawing thing I was doing for way longer than the 5 years or whatever. And then when I look at, you know, my progression of this that I've been doing for just 5 years, I feel like it's a massive difference. You know, I mean, I've finally gotten the attention of companies and stuff. Like I never, you know, like Vesco is a perfect example. I always thought, man, it would be so fucking awesome to, you know, actually get the attention of that company, and to, you know, to have that actually come to realization was just like, I don't know, man. For me, it was huge, because I was really not expecting that. It's weird, man. It's like the UPS thing too. I had kind of, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but I'd kind of given up hope of that, thinking like, it's not going to happen. But I was okay with that. It's like, it's okay though, because it's not like feel like I've wasted my time. It's just been like a, you know, a secondary thing I was hoping to get out of it, you know, but I was still getting out of it what I wanted to get out of the primary thing, which was just enjoyment and growth. And, you know, so when it happened, yeah, like I said, man, it was surreal. It was awesome. And you know, hopefully it's just you know, hopefully, you know, things are bigger and better to come.
Oh, 100%. Because it's all about putting yourself out there, you know, and
Yeah.
you're already seeing the results of that.
Yeah. And you know, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, it was awesome, man, because like, you know, when I got that opportunity, I was like, I didn't want to squander it, because I've seen guys. It's one of those envious things where I was kind of jealous and a little bit, I don't know, I want to say bitter, but like, you know, this is something that they've done. I'm trying to think if they've always done this since I've been in this hobby, or if it's something they kind of started doing over the last several, you know, 3 or 4 years maybe. But anyways, you know, when they have certain products, they'll do that. They'll send it out to people to help push, because a lot of their stuff most of their stuff is pre-order, but some of their stuff is occasionally they'll have stuff that's buy it now. So that's the stuff they want to make sure they don't have extra product. They want to make sure they sell everything. So that's why they'll send it out to a handful of people to help, you know, promote it. And I've seen guys do stuff that I'm like, really, man? Like you got this opportunity and you gave them, you know, one photograph and it was meh, in my opinion, mediocre. And I've seen them not I've seen consistently, they've only 2 people I've seen that they come back to every time. And then there's different people every time. And so when I got that opportunity, I was like, to me, it seemed obvious that it's not a matter of like, well, they're just, you know, giving different people different chances. I think they're sticking with the people that are, you know, giving them, you know, good product or whatever. So that was important to me. I was like, man, I don't want this to be a one and done. I want to make sure that, you know, that they're happy with my results and that they'll hopefully use me again. And in fact, they actually have used me again, because when they did that project, they actually had 2 projects back to back. And when they sent me the product, they reached out to me and asked me, you know, if I'd got my package, and I said, yeah. And then the lady asked me which one I got, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. So that obviously tipped the hat that, you know, that they were planning more than one thing. But obviously, it makes sense. They'd never used me before, and they're not going to send me 2 different things. And so they sent me that. And so, yeah, I wanted to make sure, you know, that I was, you know, putting my best foot forward. And so, you know, when I started shooting stuff, like the first thing I shot, I was like, okay, this is worthy of submitting, but it's not good enough, because my plan was to submit however many photos I did, you know, all in like a carousel of photos as one post. But I wanted to make sure, like in comic books, for example, you always have 2 different artists involved. You have the artist who does everything on the inside, and then you have one artist who does just the cover art, because the cover art is like way better. Like if you look at the cover art of a comic book and then you flip through the comic, it's night and day difference. That cover art is like phenomenal, you know, because of the time constraint. The guy doing the inside has a lot less time to get all those pages done, so it's not nearly as good of quality. And so anyway, so I wanted to make sure that whatever was going to be my primary photo, you know, was you know, of a cover art quality. And so, you know, it took me a few different photos that I was happy enough with that I was willing to submit. But again, I was like, this isn't good enough. to be that kind of cover piece. And then the fourth one I did, I was like, damn, okay, cool, this is it. That's perfect. That's what I wanted. And so my plan was to stop there with 4. And then it was crazy, man, because this leads back into the ChatGPT thing. I had happened to see somebody else's photo they had done, and I don't know what they were using, if it's a digital background or what, but it was like a rooftop scene, and it had like part of a neon sign, like something you would think you'd see in like a big New York City or something. And so I was playing around with ChatGPT, and I was like, let's see if they can do a neon sign. And sure, I think I asked it to do a rooftop scene with a neon sign that said like bar or something like that, and it did it flawlessly. And I was like, oh damn, that's really cool. And so then I was like, I was just kind of playing around with it, and it dawned on me, like, let's see if I can make it say Mezco. And I told it to do it in like orange or whatever, because that's kind of their color. And it did, and that's what kind of led me to the idea of doing one more. And that ended up being my absolute favorite one. That ended up being my cover shot. So anyways, I ended up submitting those 5, and I did like a real short video. And what was awesome was, number one, when they asked you when you post that to do a collab with them, so you can see, so basically anybody who sees on their site, if like they view it or give it a like, or whatever, it's tied into yours. And what was awesome was, like, they had, I think there was six or 7 of us that they had given the product to. And one of the guys is one of the guys that they use always, and he does a phenomenal job. And I was just like blown away, man, because like I beat as far as number of likes on my content. Like I beat everybody in the whole fucking thing that they gave stuff to.
No kidding.
Which I thought was awesome. And clearly they were pleased with what I gave them, because that was had to be submitted on a Saturday. Then we had to post it on like a Tuesday, I think. And then like they reached out to me like the very next day and said, hey, this is kind of last minute, but would you be interested in doing this project that's due? It would be due for submission on Sunday. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Absolutely. And I was kind of freaking out a little bit, because they ended up sending it to me. I actually thought over the weekend, I was like, well, they must have changed their mind or couldn't get it to me in time. So I had kind of just, not really forgotten about it, but gotten out of the mindset that I was going to be doing it. So mind you, it had to be submitted to them on this Sunday, whatever the date was. And at 12 o'clock noon, the fucking package shows up from FedEx. And I'm like, oh, shit.
On Sunday?
Like Sunday at noon, the same day it was due to be submitted.
Oh, so, man.
I was freaking out, because like, dude, normally, I need at least a couple hours for a photo. Sometimes I'll put 3 or 4 hours into a photo. So I'm like, fuck me, dude. It's freaking out a little bit. But like, it was cool because I was able to realize that under pressure, I could, still do what I needed to do, because I still came up with 3 photos in a video. And one of those I thought was good enough to be like, what I would consider like my cover photo. And the other 2 were okay. I was okay with submitting them, because sometimes I'll do shit that I'm like, now I'm not ever going to post this. This is not good enough to post. So I was okay with that. But it was cool, man, because like, I can't remember if I had messaged them or something and asked if they, make sure they got my stuff or whatever. And it was cool because the lady was like, yeah, she's like, yeah, the Mez saw him and he absolutely loved him. And that's who they call the owner. They call him the Mez. His name is Mark.
The Mez.
Whatever it is. His last name was like, I should know that. And I can't remember. It's Mez something, like Mezkowitz or something like that. I forget now. So that's how the name of the company came about, Mezco.
Well, that makes sense.
But anyway, so I was like, sweet, man. I was like, I feel like it paid off. And, I would be, hopefully they'll reach out to me again next time around. And I really suspect that they will, hopefully. So, I don't even remember how the fuck we got on this conversation.
No, I think dude, your work is phenomenal. I mean, I'm sure they will. And it's fun, dude, to see your account grow and to see you grow. Because we've talked about this, for years. And when you were starting to get some traction, I remember the conversations we had, and you were just like, you were having kind of a hard time being patient because you'd been doing it for a while, and your work had gotten to a point at which it was like, holy shit, this is really good. And then, but you hadn't kind of like made those connections yet. And so, and I remember having these conversations, like, I was like, dude, you're doing it. You just got to keep doing it. Like you've done the hardest part, which is starting and getting good. And like now your work looks as good as anybody else's, and which is a huge accomplishment in and of itself. Now you just got to stick with it and just wait for the opportunities to align. And it's really cool to see them, to see what's happening now.
I don't know why it just popped in my head, or when you asked me what I just sent you, I was just showing you what the quality looks like on my end of your screen.
Hang on. I saw something on my watch.
That's what I sent you. That's what I sent you.
Are you serious? It's that bad?
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, dude. So my thought is like you're gonna need to figure out why that is, because like you don't want to have like guest on here that doesn't really know you and is like, what the fuck janky shit is this?
I wonder why. Because you look,
I have no idea.
You look fine. Is it just a quality issue? I mean, shit. Maybe I'm gonna have to use the Sony.
Maybe it's a setting. Yeah, maybe it's your camera on your computer, or maybe it's the internet thing. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to see if there's any.
I mean, everything records locally, so like if it sounds or looks weird now, it's not going to when I post it. But that's super distracting. If it looks like that on your end, I gotta figure that out.
It's funny. It doesn't look like you.
I've tried using my Sony for interviews, like in the past for Zoom interviews, and it was so distracting because it's higher, and so then my eyes, I'm looking down because I'm looking at the person, but then they see me. It's like I'm looking at the ground, and so I don't know how to set it up because you look pretty normal.
I've just got it set up so it's basically right. I mean, it's back probably maybe 6 inches. The lens is maybe 6 inches from the back of my computer, but it's just high enough that you can't see the top of my computer.
Okay.
So this is looking into the camera right there.
Okay.
And because I'm looking here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'm looking down too, because I'm not like if I'm looking at your face, I'm not.
Yeah, because you're not really looking at the camera on your monitor, anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you sent that because like I said on my end, it looks. I mean, I'm not seeing you like in 4K or something, but it looks fine.
Yeah.
So, and I look like
see, that's
garbage.
what's weird is this is weird. Like I said, over there it says quality. It says 576p. I don't know what that means. But then it definitely like what I see of my screen of myself on here is definitely 4K. It's fucking so sharp. I can tell I can look my age, man. It sucks. That's why I don't like doing this in 4K.
That's sharp. Funny. Well, I mean, these things. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how this works because I'm using Riverside and I like it so far, and it has an editor built in, which is good because there is no way that my old computer could deal with a video this long. Like, it just can't. It just doesn't work. I'm gonna have to upgrade to like a legitimate computer because April and I did an episode and I haven't mastered like how to get the video, well, unless I'm using this program, but like if I'm doing something at home, like obviously the Sony has a record limit of 30 minutes, and so I can record onto the Ninja, but then those files are huge. And then my computer can't export them anyways. It would take like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it just wouldn't work.
That just needs to be what you upgrade next is your computer for sure.
I need to get a big old MacBook, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, just get you a decent PC.
Yeah, I need to get a newer version of what you've got. What is it's MSI or something?
Yeah, I was looking at them today at Costco. They have the newest version there. It's 32 gigs of memory. It's not on sale. I'm sure it'll go on sale. I think it was like $1,600. It was kind of expensive, actually. There was a lot
Yeah,
of other computers there that were cheaper.
yeah, but it's a good computer though. I mean, like for editing and stuff, it seems like
It is. It is because they're built for as gaming machines is what it is. So they're
yeah,
great for what we do too. If I have to
yeah.
go PC, I'll get another MSI for sure.
Well, once you're sponsored by Apple, they'll just start sending you MacBooks.
All right. That's another crazy thing, man. Is like I remember having a friend. What? Will you go turn on the beans and the potatoes back on?
Beans and taters.
Yeah. No, the meat I'll be able to cook quick. What was I saying?
Something I was joking about getting sponsored by Apple.
That's the crazy thing, man. Is like these companies that just I don't know how I don't even know how they find me because they just it all kind of happened at once, man. Like companies reaching out, like because like the June stuff was obviously the same company, but two different people, and like two different divisions, I guess, of the company. I don't know if they, one gave my information to the other or not, and then the like the fog machine people, and I actually had a couple that I've turned down, to be honest. But
Are you serious? So you're like getting showered with equipment.
well, not really showered, but I mean, but still, it's like those
Sprinkling.
three plus the two Mezco. I've got another company that says they're sending me something, but they said later in the year. But this obviously the year's winding down, so we'll see. I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
I
And
want
I've
to get
had a couple,
sponsored
like
by
I said,
Krispy Kreme.
it's perfect, dude. I had a couple that, like I said, that I turned down. They just don't. I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense to me. Like on one hand, the wife's like, "Why? Why would you turn anything down?" But then I'm like, there's this guy who does phenomenal work, and he's works for a couple of big companies that he does all their product photography for. And I heard him talking once on a video, and he was saying something that made a lot of sense to me. He was talking about basically the same thing. And he was like, he's like, he's like said the same thing. He used to basically say yes to everything, but then he was like, after a while, he was like, this doesn't even make sense. This isn't a product that I want, or that even is really even relevant per se to what I do or my style. Like for example, I had a company that was, I can't remember what it was called now, and they reached out to me, and wanted to send me some stuff, and it was like, it's like kids STEM toys. It's like these
Yeah,
like little they build like these little, I don't know, robotic dinosaurs, and
yeah. Maddox
but
used
it's
to
like
be really big into those.
it's like a younger age, but I'm like, it's not something that I obviously want, and it doesn't really fit my style per se. So then I was like conflicted, like, well, I mean, do I just say yes and do it? But I'm like, it just seems weird to me, man, posting like that, because then I feel like, it's not relevant to my audience, I guess is what I'm saying.
No, I think
So
no.
it's like,
I agree. It has to because you have to I think it's about respecting your audience, like respecting like
yeah, exactly.
the core of your show.
Yeah, you don't want to sell out to your audience and then be like, why is this guy advertising fucking, you know, baby toys and or whatever, clothing or something that's not relevant. I mean, at least everything that I've done has been completely relevant. I mean, this is all equipment that I, can use or do use. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So
No. Yeah. I mean, not that I've ever done that, but I mean, like never been, sponsored or something. But no, I agree. I mean, it's like you got to stay. Yeah. Even like your art in and of itself needs to stay true to your vision of what the channel is all about, anyways.
exactly. I feel like if I can't make it fit into that style, then I probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100%. Man, dude, this has
Yep.
been awesome. I look. I know you. I don't want to keep you because I know you got
Yeah.
beans and taters.
The wife gave me the evil eye. Like, where's your pans with this food in here?
Somebody's getting hungry. Oh man, well, dude, this was amazing. I love this because you're the first guest on my show that I'm not currently sleeping with.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that's not us either. Make sure you edit that part out, or just don't play that part for April.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. Yeah, cool. Well, dude, thank you, and yeah. Do you have any parting wisdom?
No parting wisdom, but you need to take a fucking like Saturday off so we can do a bonfire at your place.
Dude, I do. Like, no,
Otherwise we're never gonna be able to do it, and then the fall's gonna be gone, and or the winter's gonna be gone, and we can't do it in the summer. Fuck that.
I don't suppose you're available on a Monday or Tuesday night.